What's up, guys? It's EmiNES back again with another video. Today we're talking the best games that I personally beat that were new games for me to beat this year. So, the gems from the backlog video recap for this year. So we're doing that for 2013, 2023. Okay, first game. New Super Mario Bros. DS. By the way, I only played 6 games that I can count as technically new. I think the movies took over a lot of the legwork and the replay videos for sure. But, you know, I had a busy year, so that might be how it is. But I did beat 6 games, so I mean, new games. So that's good. Debatably. We'll talk about that here in a second. Alright, so New Super Mario Bros. DS. The stupidest name for a video game ever. I thought it was pretty good. It was a pretty solid New Super Mario Bros. Game. Easier than the Wii version by a lot. I think the Wii version, they definitely expected you to play with 4 players, which I don't have, which is why that game has been taking so long, because I just set it down, because I just don't want anything to do with it right now, because it's so hard. I'm only on, like, World 2, and I can't get through it. It's fucking ridiculous. So, this game is not that, though. There were some hard moments. There were some frustrating moments, I remember, but it takes the Mario formula, and it doesn't exactly make it unique or interesting like the original games kind of were, but it does some interesting things with it. It adds a couple new power-ups. The worlds aren't all that inspired, but, you know, they're okay. It's a pretty solid game overall, you know? It's a decent Mario game, a good Mario game, which is like, most Mario games are amazing or great. This one's a good Mario game, you know? So that's that game. So, that's number 6 right there. Alright. Number 5. Dragon Quest VII. The 3DS version, that is. Now, this is the kind of what if, you know, like kind of the on the line one, because it's like I did beat Dragon Quest VII on the DS, or in the PS1 a long time ago in like 2012 or something. But it was around 2012. I think it would have been like 2012. Yeah. Go back and check the old videos. I have videos up on the channel still of when I was talking about that, like the first impressions of the game. I would keep talking about it every time on games I had been playing, you know, which is kind of like, I ripped that off of All Gen Gamers, but anyway, so, Dragon Quest VII, very, very long fucking game, so fucking long of a game, so long, it's like 100 hours long. It's a pretty good game underneath all of that. There's a lot of good mechanics and stuff. But, oh my god, is it just so fucking long. Every time I thought it was gonna be done, it just kept going. Halfway through the game, I was like, oh, is it gonna be done yet? Which I knew it wasn't, but I was just like, oh my god, please be over. So, aside from the egregious length, the game is really good, though. Or pretty good, you know. I would say in an example of like Dragon Quest VIII is a game that I would sink 100 hours into and not even notice it or not even care. This is the kind of game where you sink 100 hours in and you felt it. Like half of the entire experience, you felt that. There was a lot of grinding. I remember a lot of just following instructions too. They have that whole system where they make you like level up each like job or whatever, and then but you can only level up things in certain areas. Like your guys won't level job points unless they're like in the most recent area or something. It's really dumb. It's really stupid, that system, that part of the system. The system itself I could get behind, kind of. I don't know how you would do it. I probably mentioned a lot of that in the review, but that's like maybe my main criticism with the game, aside from the fucking giant length of it. But it's a solid game overall, and it's a decent Dragon Quest game. not one of my more favorite Dragon Quest games. Like, I definitely prefer a lot of the earlier ones. Definitely, like, 5 and, like, 3 and 1 are really good. And, 4 is pretty good, too, you know, and 2 is pretty decent. So basically all the ones before 7 except for 6. Which is okay. It's an okay game. 6 has a lot of similar problems. Oh, nice. I like this. I just went to my top 100 games list and then just hit shuffle, so... Which definitely would have changed by now. I would have added, like, friggin' RuneScape and shit. I should have had that before. I wasn't thinking about something like that, though. Actually, I did think I thought of that one, and I just didn't put it on there, because, like, I don't know, because I hadn't played a lot of the other content. Although some of these quests in RuneScape, I gotta tell you, are just, oh, ridiculous. I just did Monkey Madness, and that was excruciating. That I spent half of my day on Saturday just doing Monkey Madness, so... I think it was Saturday. Or was it Friday? I don't remember. It was one or the other. It was Saturday. Anyway, so Dragon Quest 7 is pretty good. Oh yeah, they did a Mario remake. I should have played that. Is that out? That's already out, isn't it? Jesus Christ, I'm so behind the times on these things. I'll get it eventually. You know how I am with new games. I get around to them. Alright, next game, Indiana Jones Greatest Adventure. So, funnily enough, I played this game before the new Indiana Jones movie came out. So, it wasn't even like a being relevant thing at that moment, but I guess I played it in a good year. It was a pretty solid platformer. It represents the movies pretty well. Not too bad overall. I remember the music being pretty decent, and like the levels all kind of reflect the scenes from the movie and stuff, and I thought that was kind of cool. I remember there being some like platforming issues and stuff, and just like some really hard parts that kind of bogged down the experience a little bit. So I think it's a solid game, and I think it's a good Super Nintendo game. But I mean, the Super Nintendo has so many great games already, like Super Mario RPG, Earthbound, Final Fantasy VI, all the RPGs, really. A lot of them, anyway. Super Mario World, you know, as a better platformer. What's this? Oh, this is from, yeah, oh, this is from D. Remember D? Anyway, so, yeah, that's a pretty good game. I liked that one well enough. Another pretty decent, platformer game, Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters there. So, yeah, pretty good game. Anyway, so Myths and Monsters was pretty good. Good sequel to Kid Icarus there. I remember a lot of the enemies being, like, taking way too many hits and whatever. So, I mean, that's maybe, like, the biggest downfall to the game. There's a lot of really good... Oh, yeah, this is Bioshock. I knew it, because I played these games this year. Gosh, that feels like forever ago, but it wasn't that long ago. It was only a couple months ago. It's a lot been going on in the last couple months, so... It just feels like... I will say, I don't want to spoil what game. It's the next one, actually, but, like, when I saw that, I'm like, I played that this year, which is at the very beginning of the year, and that just seems like it was, like, last year. It seems like a lifetime ago, like, seriously, so... Yeah, this year a lot has happened, so... Anyway, Myths and Monsters is a pretty good Kid Icarus game. A pretty good Game Boy game, I would say, in general. Really solid. Not like the best game ever, but it's a pretty good game for what it is, you know? For a sequel to Kid Icarus, I think it fixed some of Kid Icarus's flaws, and then also, you know, made a better and tighter game out of it. And I thought that was really cool. So, good. It's a good game. Good Game Boy game, too. Alright. That was number 4. Or 3. Yeah, 3. Alright, number 2. Technically 5 games in one. No, I'm just kidding. 5 videos in one, though. I did do 5 videos on it. Life is Strange 2. Now, this is the game that I beat at the beginning of the year, and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot I beat that this year. That seriously seems like I beat that, like, last year. I might have. I know, but I think I did beat it at the beginning of this year. The videos definitely were coming out for a little while in this year, but I definitely think I did beat it, like, at the beginning of this year. So... okay, let's get forward to that. Okay. Oh, nice. God, that'd be a fun one to review. Oh my god, I gotta get my friends together. We can play that. Life is Strange 2. I mean, I love Life is Strange, and I love Life is Strange Before the Storm. Life is Strange 2, not quite as good as those games, but it's still a really solid game all overall. You know, I gave it like an 8.5 or whatever. I did like it. I liked the characters. I think I liked the side characters a lot less, though, because there wasn't that many good ones. It was mainly about the main mainly about the main characters. You know, so like Daniel and his brother there, Sean. Sorry, I was distracted by Zelda. So Sean and Daniel and their adventures, and you know, it was interesting, like, playing as the character that, like, didn't have the powers this time, and you were kind of guiding the character that had the powers. So you're a little bit more like Chloe in the first game, I guess, but like Chloe wasn't like guiding Max or whatever. But it was interesting because it's like you get to mold this kid to like be good or bad or kind of go in his own path, and that was kind of the whole point of the game. And you know, you wanted to tell him things sometimes, but sometimes you shouldn't. And are you going to be bad, and is he going to take the influence of that and be bad himself? You know, like, do you steal stuff because you need it, or does it set a bad example for Daniel? Which is like, yeah, it's a very big struggle. I feel like a lot of that didn't end up mattering by the end of the game, but like the concept there is really cool. I mean, it only matters in the sense that, like, you are going to get different endings based on how you go about molding him. There's 4 different endings, but like most of them are bad. And like the quote-unquote best ending where you like turn yourself in, he doesn't really like care about you by the time you get out, even though you had all these adventures together and whatever. So I didn't really like that. Like, there's only like one ending where you both get away, but then you're like criminals, and that's like you have to be bad to get him to do that. And then like, I know the whole thing is like Sean probably should face charges for his actions, but like at the same time he really didn't do anything at the beginning, you know? So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to say. Anyway, it was good. It was a good Life is Strange game. It was morally complex at some times, and it made you make a lot of good decisions. There were some cameos in there that I really liked, and I liked that it kind of did follow after the first game. You know, there were certain little things from the first game that would affect the second game based on what decision you made in the first game, so I thought that was cool. Still looking forward to True Colors. I still gotta play that. I know, I was talking about that earlier this year, and then I got really distracted by, like, Zelda, and I just didn't go back. So, yeah. So there's that. But yeah, I thought it was good. I liked it. Another solid entry in the Life is Strange franchise, so that's Life is Strange 2, and I doubt if anybody's going to be surprised by what the #1 game of the year is. Now, I do have flaws and criticisms of said game, and I've talked to them to death in the videos, and everyone's talked to them to death in the videos, but Tears of the Kingdom gets to be my #1. I mean, I really am still mourning the death of 2D Zelda and old school Zelda. And they've made it even more abundantly clear lately that we are not going back to any elements of the old Zeldas. We want these to be the new Zeldas, and I think that's a critical mistake. Arlo, the YouTube creator, made a whole video about it, and I don't want to just mimic what he said, but I agree with him so much in a lot of his points that we're just we're losing something so special. Zelda is where it is today because of this. Just because Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were big hits doesn't mean that's the only kind of Zelda you should be making. Take the elements from the older game, add it to this game, and it'll be the most amazing game ever, but you won't do it. Why, Nintendo? Why? Why is this such a problem for you guys, you know? I mean, it's an amazing freaking game, you know? It's just, you guys just don't want to acknowledge that your past is glorious as well. You know, there's so many good things you can take from your past. But in the same sense, I replayed Breath of the Wild before I played this game, and I think that game is really special. I think there's a lot of great things about it. I think there's a lot of very great improvements in this game. But some of the magic is stripped away from that game. And even still, neither of them completely got that magic from the old games back. It's like Pokemon. I mean, they're doing a better job than Pokemon. Let's be real here. But you know, it's like, what are you doing, Nintendo? Come on. Give us old school Zelda. Are you just not going to remake other Zeldas either? I mean, like, you're saying you don't want to do any more old Zelda games, and, like, what the fuck is the fate of all of the Zelda remakes? What about when we did Link's Awakening remake and that did really well? Are we not doing that anymore? Are we never going to get the Oracle remakes? Are we never going to get, like, Ocarina of Time, like, 3D remastered, throw it on Switch or something? Or Switch 2? What's the next Switch going to be called? Switch 2 or Switch X or switching it up? I don't know. I have no earthly idea what they're gonna call it. Did they go with the sequel name because like the Wii U didn't do well? Did they just call it the Nintendo? That's what everyone always says. Just call it the Nintendo. People will get it. Anyway. I think this is a great game. I think it's a great game for the Switch. I think both Zeldas on the Switch are great. I don't know. Modern games are kind of disappointing to me in a lot of ways. I can't remember the last time I a game hit me really hard, and then like the Life is Strange music is playing. It was probably Life is Strange, actually. Honestly, that franchise, like, yeah, definitely was maybe the last like really special set of games. I really like Legends Arceus, but there was a lot of problems with it too. I know I gave it a 10, but like, so that was a good one. Hat in Time was good, but that was actually before the storm and stuff. I don't know. Some people are still doing it well, and some just, you know, It's like, we don't want... They want to do all this nostalgia baiting, but then it's like they won't take mechanics from the past. It's just my problem with it. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Come on. Come on, Nintendo. Get your head out of your ass. Fix Pokemon. Fix Zelda. Give us more Mario. I say as I haven't played Super Mario Odyssey. Okay. So I think that's on the docket. Here's what's on the docket for next year. Super Mario Odyssey, Dragon Quest VIII, True Colors, spoilers for my next reviews, the Pokemon franchise that I haven't done. The ones I haven't done is my point. New Super Mario Bros. Games? Possible you know? I don't know. And there's really nothing coming out on the horizon that I, like, actually care about. Maybe that Princess Peach game. Maybe that's it. Like, that's the only thing I can even think of. Whatever the new Switch comes out, I guess I care about that, maybe. It's not like I'm gonna buy it right away or anything, but it'll be cool. Depends on what they have. Dragon Quest 12, I guess, whenever the fuck that's coming out. That's not gonna be for a long time, though. What else? We'll see what happens with next year. I don't know. There's a lot of games I still need to play. A lot of them I need to get to. A lot of ones I've been putting off, so we'll try and get to some of those next year. You know, some horror games in October. It's a new year, everyone! 2024! The year of EmiNES. Which I'm starting to realize isn't the best name ever. I mean, it's the name I'm probably going to stick with, but then you search it on YouTube, and there's like a million people with that same spelling. Oh, it's very bad. I don't know what that, like, EmiNES? Like, what does that mean? Like, what? Why does everyone have that as a username? Like, I guess JZNES was probably more unique, but, like, it's a new era. We're doing the new stuff. Maybe I should have gone with EZNES or something. I don't know. This is a mouthful. Anyway, this is EmiNES for now. I'm not changing the name. EmiNES, saying, keep it classic. Stick around for more reviews, underrated games, movies, and I'll see you in the next year. So, yeah. Emily, out.